Carlos Ramirez, owner of NVS Audio in Roselle, New Jersey and Daytona, Florida. So we just got this beautiful denim red Road Glide into the shop. So the client was referred to us by our other client that we just finished up his bike. And the client had he had two issues with the bike. He had a Rockford plug-and-play setup installed. And what would happen is the radio would randomly shut down and reboot. So the second problem he had, which was more concerning, was the bike would randomly shut off. For no reason, would just shut off. Then you'd have to pull over. Sometimes he'd be on the highway and the bike would shut off on him, which is really, really dangerous. So I had a feeling I knew what both problems were. He went to two dealerships and he went to two authorized Rockford dealers to have the setup looked at, and none of the four shops could figure out the problem. We figured out the problem in a day. We do a lot of bikes here, so we see a lot of these problems before other shops see them, because the power problem is a commonly known problem, which was the main fuse holder on the bike. This one was trickier to troubleshoot, and the reason the other shops didn't pick up on it is normally, and I have a video coming up just on this fuse problem. Normally, when you look into the connectors on the main fuse holder, they're melted, so it's a dead giveaway that this is the issue. So either the fuse is melted or the fuse holder is melted. In this case, the fuse holder looked good and the fuse looked good. So the fuse, no melting on the fuse, no melting on the prongs of the fuse holder, so it was harder to troubleshoot. So we did a load test and we weren't getting the proper amperage on the output side. But even simpler than that, simply applying pressure to the fuse holder at an angle, I could make the bike stay running, or apply pressure the other way and I could make the bike shut off instantly. So I knew it was the fuse holder. So we removed the factory fuse holder. There's only two ways to fix it. You can either order a completely new harness and replace the entire power harness for the bike, or you can remove the factory fuse holder because it plugs in. It's a cartridge that plugs in from the back. Cut the lines. If you put the fuse holder in the right exact spot, you don't have to extend the lines. I don't like extending the lines because I don't want to solder or crimp onto the factory lines and add resistance. So if you position it correctly, you can get a small mini A&L fuse holder on top of the fuse block and the factory lines go right into it. Install a 50-60 amp fuse and you're good to go. So I know we fixed the problem because he took the 1.5 to 2 hour ride home and texted me to thank me when he got home. He had no issues with the radio and no issues with the bike shutting off. So since we're able to fix all the issues, he let us go ahead and do a stage 3 audio upgrade, an NVS Audio stage 3 audio upgrade. So he had some good equipment on there. He had Rockford Marine coax 8s in the lids. He had the Rockford 6.5s in the fairing, Rockford plug-and-play amplifier, Rockford DSP, factory GTS radio. So we pulled everything out and started over. The issue with the radio shutting off, the Rockford T-harness was defective. It was actually missing the ground wire, like the entire ground wire in the harness that went into the pin that went into the DSP. The entire wire was missing. So if you look at the plug, the yellow constant power wire underneath in the plug is supposed to be the black ground wire. It was completely missing, wasn't there. So I'm assuming that it was either grounding through the antenna or some other part of the radio. And then as the bike moved around and it caused pressure on the harness, the ground would drop out and it would cause the radio to reboot. Because you got to remember, when you take the factory plug off the back of the radio and install the T-harness, the radio is now getting power through the T-harness. So if there's an issue with the T-harness, you'll see issues that you weren't seeing with the factory harness plugged directly in. So that's how we tested it. I found the missing pin, I removed the T-harness, I plugged in the factory harness, rode it, tested it, the radio didn't reboot. So we went ahead, instead of modifying the Rockford harness, we just pulled everything out, went with an NVS Audio plug-and-play harness, went with our full stage 3 package, which is 2 FLX 700 amplifiers, HCAT mini DSP. We flashed the radio. We did Cicada CH in the fairing, and then we did Cicada CMX 8-inch in the lids with the flush mount Cicada grills. It fit perfectly. The previous shop had already modified the latch assembly on the inside, so the speaker was able to drop in. The CMX carbon from Cicada is weatherproof, and it's got a slim basket profile, so it fits in a lot of these aftermarket lids. Flashed the bike, tuned the bike, And then we did a set of Hertz 8-inch 200L mid-bass drivers inside the saddlebag. So one amplifier ran the 4 mid-range speakers, the other amplifier was bridged to the 8-inch mid-bass. The client and his wife were blown away by the sound. Sounded good, played well, and most importantly, the bike didn't shut off anymore and the radio didn't reboot anymore. So check out the build, came out really good. He's really happy. Carlos Ramirez, owner of NVS Audio in Roselle, New Jersey. Got Madge helping me out. Just trying to keep up with Josh back there. So we got this bike that came in. Jim referred him to us. So we just finished up Jim's bike. They both ride with the Iron Pigs. And he's having issues with the bike. It's been to 2 different dealerships, 2 different Rockford audio dealers, and nobody can figure it out. The radio randomly reboots and the audio shuts off. Cannot figure out why. I promised them that we were going to figure it out and fix it. I doubt that it's a bad radio because it got a GTS radio, and those radios never, ever, ever, ever break. So I have a feeling it's a problem in the T-harness. He's also got issues with his heated seat. He's blowing a fuse. So we're going to load test that, rewire that for him, add a relay. And we're also going to clean this up. So he's got some custom taillights installed and all these nasty posi taps. Josh, you going to clean that up?
Yeah.
So we're going to solder that up, clean that up, and then we're going to stash all these in this dead space here behind the battery because it sucks pulling all this out of the way every time you have to get to the battery like we are now. But we're going to fix it. We're going to make it right. These lids are going to be a little bit tricky. I've never seen lids like this before. So with that lip and the speaker sunk in, it's really close to hitting the latch assembly. So I want to run some Cicadas CMX carbon fiber here. He had some Rockford Marines in there before. We're going to see if we can upgrade it a little bit. Somebody's already been in here chopping. But latch assembly still works. If I can't get them to fit in, well, maybe we'll run some Euphoria sealed back or we'll build a spacer, but we'll get it done. We're going to upgrade the Rockford speakers in the front to Cicada CHs. Then he decided to do 8-inch woofers in the bags. So we're going to run an 8 there, 8 in the lid. Run an NVS Audio wiring kit. So we're going to wire this up with the AK3 wiring kit, which can give us 2 8-gauge power, 2 8-gauge ground in the fairing. And that's about it. So check back soon with a status update. Had the Rockford M5, the amp that claims to be 800 watts. It's more like 400 watts, so we're going to double up the power going to the highs, and then we're going to do another 700 to 800 watts going to the bass.
Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business. Mama, please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business. Back and forth with the bullshit. I know I said it before, I don't mean it. It's been a while since I had your attention. my heart to it.
What you love, thunder only happens when it's raining. Now here I go,